Have you ever watched The Amazing World of Gumball and thought, okay, this one broke my brain, like you were just vibing, maybe eating cereal, and suddenly Gumball's begging to get his butt slapped, or Sussy is handing people her eyeballs like friendship tokens? Yeah. Gumball isn't just a cartoon, it's a fever dream with a budget. And today, we're diving headfirst into the absolute weirdest episodes the show has ever released. So buckle up, because from the slap to the shippening, we're about to take a trip through the most bizarre corners of Elmore. And trust me, once you see Gumball try to get tackled for a hug again, there's no going back. Imagine stepping into the amazing world of Gumball and seeing a school ritual so bizarre it almost feels like an acid dream clip. Guys high-five each other, but right after, they casually smack each other's butt. Enter the Slap, Season 4, Episode 35. An episode that takes the simplest gesture of friendly goodwill and warps it into the apex of student hierarchy. Everyone's getting rear slapped, except Gumball. When Tobias slaps everyone else's butt but Gumball's, a crushing sense of exclusion kicks in. Is your backside not worth it? Gumball decides he must have it at any cost, spiraling into a mission to force the slap out of Tobias himself. What follows is an excruciatingly awkward game of power, humiliation, and physical comedy. Gumball pursues Tobias through high school corridors, physically contorting himself, his legs literally stretched to block Tobias's path, knocking Darwin out cold in an accidental assault. Tobias's ominous slap greeting becomes a symbol of belonging Gumball desperately craves. The whole thing escalates into controlled chaos. Gumball fakes choking in the cafeteria to bait a back slap from Tobias. But when Tobias doesn't oblige, this backfires as Hector intervenes. His hand slams Gumball through a camera lens, shattering it over top of Tobias's startled face, creating a mini battlefield of absurd theatrics. In music class, Tobias sees Gumball's butt as his next target, hesitates, opts for a cymbal crash instead. Elsewhere in the library, Gumball's butt pops out of a book. Tobias gasps. The sheer weirdness peaks. Is Gumball's backside sentient? Gumball's emotional collapse arrives in the form of a heartfelt musical number, My Lonely Backside and I, where he serenades his own butt with lyrics like,
"Is my butt not hurt? Is it not inviting?"
until tears roll down his face, while Darwin stands by, gently telling him maybe this isn't worth it, but still supporting his brother emotionally, after Darwin reluctantly helps Gumball run schemes, like pushing himself in front of Tobias to get slapped. Tobias ends up slapping his own face and passing out. Gumball even debates whether that should count, trying to rationalize a victory born of cruelty. The situation escalates to the rooftop, where Gumball lures Tobias via a forged note from Masami. They get stuck up there for days. No food, no water, eventually devolving into survival mode. Tobias literally attempts to eat Gumball, convincing himself he's the alpha, until they belt out a musical number together about friendship and the stupidity of their own obsession. They craft a distress signal on the roof using severed limbs, which, ironically, forms the message, "Need help," but the passerby just says,
"Need help? No, I'm fine, thank you."
The surreal tone here is off the chart. Limbs become letters, rooftop starvation becomes bonding, and butt slaps become tragic currency. When rescue finally arrives, Darwin knocks them out of their delirium. Gumball has an epiphany. He realizes he doesn't actually want Tobias's slap. He wants to belong. Tobias finally slaps Gumball's butt, but only because he quietly decides Gumball deserves it, prompting a furious reaction. Gumball slaps Tobias's face, invoking societal rules, and storms off, leaving the slapper to facepalm and the viewer to question just how weird a butt slap can get before it becomes art. Imagine this, you're in middle school chewing gum and whistling down the hallway, and you walk into the bathroom only to accidentally spit gum on Hot Dog Guy. That's how The Cringe, Season 6, Episode 7 begins. Gumball and Hot Dog Guy simultaneously clutch for the bathroom door and accidentally send shockwaves of awkward through Elmore. Gumball's nail-biting internal voice coaching.
Okay, relax, man. It's weird, but you can do this. Just focus on your breathing.
is exactly how the transcript plays it out. And the moment they lock eyes, it's pure social meltdown. They limp through the rest of the school day, desperately avoiding each other. Every attempt to pee is a standoff. The more they pause, the worse their shared inner cringe grows. The situation spirals until the emotional tension crashes into a literal cringe level of 100,000 DJ. The equivalent of hearing 100,000 dad jokes at once. They pass out in the hospital under medical supervision. Their solution: overwhelm the awkward. They decide to emotionally detank through shared embarrassment by stripping in the shower together, with the camera flirting with intimacy. But Banana Joe, accidentally involved, refuses to take cold showers alongside them. Cue the humiliation crescendo. Gumball goes full throttle into cringe by shouting, "Call me dad," and you just know the face crunch nightmare begins. Flash forwards show Gumball's future, wedding, birth, and funeral, all interrupted by the memory of that cringe moment. It's a surreal reflection on trauma looping through time. Then comes the talent show fiasco. Elmore's Got Talent. They beat box. The crowd recoils. The judges recoil. They pass out mid-performance. The showrunners describe it as,
"And now for the worst audition of the week."
That's when they build a cardboard time machine, glued with macaroni, ironically, and zoom back to the first moments their awkwardness began. Bathroom, tent in the hug, awkward school bus rides. Every time they misjudged each other, the two purposely delete those old memories, crumpling flashback frames like rainy paper dolls in stop motion. When the dust settles, like two broken eggs thrown at a wall, Gumball and Hot Dog Guy come out the other side, equally deflated, equally honest. Their faces unfold back into reality, but then fate gives them one final awkward glitch. Invisible hands punch them through space-time again, like a cosmic joke on personal growth. The episode ends with no resolution, just a lingering, do we actually heal, as they slowly salvage normal breathing. What makes The Cringe one of the weirdest Gumball episodes isn't just the surreality or the grossness of cringe. It's the emotional endurance test it puts Gumball and Hog Guy through. Ever wondered what Elmore looks like through Sussy's eyes? Brace yourself. This isn't just another cringe fest. It's a deep dive into alienation, wrapped in lunchroom madness and bizarre home makeovers. The Weirdo. Season 5, Episode 29. The episode kicks off with the school cafeteria's gift exchange, turning into a what on earth review. Sussy, gleefully ignored by others, hands out gifts so bizarre they break all decency rules. Gumball unwraps mayonnaise. Darwin gets a torn up photo, a $100 bill shredded on the spot, and then an actual live Black Widow spider on his fin. Chaos and screams ensue. When other students toss Sussy's gifts into the garbage, Gumball quietly interrupts the ritual with an awkward dignity.
Feelings? Dude on the down low.
To spare her feelings. It's so sweet it hurts. Gumball goes the help her become normal route. He plucks Susie out of class and pitches Darwin's plan.
Start.
Let's just observe a normal day in her life.
Gumball's brain immediately invents a more villainous plan involving...
So you're saying we poison the town water supply with lead until everyone becomes as weird as her?
But Darwin steers him back to empathy instead. What follows is an intervention sequence like no other. They attempt to fix her by redrawing her face, changing her chin, removing or adding necks, only to make her look more bizarre. When confronted, Sussy asks,
"Why Gumball, Darwin, try change Sassy?"
And that's the heartbreaking moment Gumball and Darwin realize. She never asked to change. She just wants acceptance. Enter Eye of the Beholder, the visual crescendo. Sussy offers Gumball and Darwin two googly eyes, urging them to look through her lens. They don them, and literally the show changes. Backgrounds flatten into childlike drawings, colors turn pastel, and suddenly Elmore is gentler, not gruesome. The trio exhale a unified and launch into the episode's musical highlight. The lyrics brim with self-acceptance and liberation.
I offer it to my friends so they can see life through my lens.
As they sing through Elmore's surreal streets, the bullies catch up but can't withstand the emotional power trip. Julius's head literally explodes at being challenged by genuine weirdness. Meltdown City. This episode is weird, like stomach-turning weird, mayonnaise, spiders, lip-smacking door handles. But it's also pure human, a story about kindness shielding oddity from cruelty. That's what makes the Weirdo strange and strangely beautiful. It holds wrongness and grace in one lunch tray. If you thought that was weird, wait until we unpack the Shippening. You don't want to miss what comes next. Ever thought fanfiction could literally destroy your town? In the Shippening, Season 6, Episode 14, that fantasy becomes Elmore's nightmare. Gumball and Darwin stumble into chaos when Sarah G. Lotto finds a mysterious notebook dropped by a fleeing awesome store salesman. Yes, that shop with cursed items. Every sugar-sweet ship Sarah writes, Alan and Terry, Canneray, Richie not Robbie, instantly plays out in the mall. The cops show up, laugh at that ice cream girl before promptly getting zapped by possessed dolls, storm umbrellas, and gender-bending transformations of Elmore citizens. Sarah's cat eye wear and otaku t-shirt aren't cosplay. They hint at the real threat, her shipping mania. She narrates each fanfic as reality bends to her pen. This episode throws every trope into the blender. Buff lovers melt. Mr. Small marries Larry. Zachariah Lopez Kirby appears as Gumball's cousin, and Banana Barbara shops for tattoos with Mr. Robinson. There's even a future Gumball Carrie wedding and Darwin bridegroom duo, all drawn from Sarah's notebook, all played out grotesquely real in slow-mo fanfic disaster. Right as Elmore crumbles inside out, Gumball barges into Sarah's room like a dramatic arrest.
What did you do this time?
Sarah protests she's just writing non-canon shipping with some OTP art, but the cops burst in. She panics, they quarrel, and she hands the notebook to the brothers, begging,
You're gonna have to do it.
That's our ultimate bait. Gumball and Darwin must unwrite the shippers. What follows is fanfic fever panic played like a strategy board game with lives at stake. Gumball edits with emotional accuracy, reverses Mr. Small's bridal gown meltdown, and merges Principal Brown and Jackie back into one intact being. Everything flickers, breaks, and screams from contradiction until Darwin yells,
Hard! Just keep it simple!
down to one sentence left in the notebook. Cops charge the door. Gumball struggles. Writer's block hits. Then Sarah interjects.
Gumball and Darwin kiss Sarah, but in the end, none of this mattered because it was all just fan fiction.
Cute kiss on face denouement. Elmore snaps back to normal. All distant weddings, future babies, mutants, gone in a blink. Sometimes all it takes is, none of this was canon. This episode isn't just weird, it's meta weird. The show acknowledges its own fans in the most absurd way possible. The Hug, Season 4, Episode 17. Hold on to your social comfort. This one's truly delightfully awkward. Ever felt trapped in a hug you can't escape? Welcome to The Hug, Gumball and Hot Dog Guy's accidental masterclass in Cringe. Darwin starts the episode by accusing Gumball of being too predictable. In response, the blue cat decides not only to surprise him, but by hugging a guy he doesn't even know. 7 awkward embraces later, and this hug turns into a 5-day Elmore School saga of hug perma bonding that snowballs into full-on sleepover nightmares. At the cafeteria, Gumball's trigger point is triggered. Darwin nails every joke and move he's going to make, so Gumball trolls around school until he sees the silent, sunglasses-wearing hot dog guy and goes, hug. No warning, no chill, just a sudden bear hug. Naturally, hot dog guy blushes through his sunglasses and more awkwardness ensues when Gumball whispers to Darwin,
Oh, you can't de-hug a person. Once you've hit the hug level, you gotta stay there.
Every day for a few days, Gumball and Hot Dog Guy bump into each other. They both retreat, then hug. They try to talk, end up singing a weird jingle in sync. Hide, shampoo him with shrinking water. Try revenge. Gumball freezes Hot Dog Guy in shower. The latter gives Gumball a venomous pet snake as a gift. Anger, apologies, chaos. They're all express invoices in Elmore. The emotional turning point happens when both try to crush the hug for good. Gumball launches into a rant at Hot Dog Guy about how apathetic he truly is, claiming,
I don't even care enough to hate you!
To his shock, Hot Dog Guy responds in kind. He doesn't care either. And just like that, understanding lands. They shake hands and finally hug on mutually agreed terms. No more forcing, no more awkward rewinds. Why this episode belongs on the weirdest list. It takes a universal teenage signal, the hug, and warps it into full 5-day doom loop. It's not horror, but it hits like a psychological thriller for anyone who's ever had to hug when they didn't want to. And yet, there's heart. Gumball and Hot Dog Guy both just want to move on, to be seen as individuals. Once they stop pretending something deeper, the hug becomes a relief instead of a trap. Suddenly, sincerity replaces forced smiles.